online learning. Today we're going to talk about statistics, and we're going to focus on 4 different things. The things we're going to focus on are the three different types of averages. We're going to talk about mean, we're going to talk about median, and we're going to talk about mode. And then the last thing we'll discuss is range. And then we'll follow up with 3 different problems to make sure you guys understand. So for right now, let's check this out. Again, we're looking at mode. Mode is the most frequent number. Median is not the most frequent number, but it's pretty much when you take a set of numbers and you put them in order. So let's check this out. I'll start off with some basic numbers. I'll start off with a 1, okay? And we got a 2, a 4, and a 7. Now, keep in mind, if we're looking at this, they don't necessarily have to be in order. But when it comes to, if you want to understand what a mode is, the mode would be the most frequent number. And there aren't any. There's only 1 of 1 and 1 of 2 and then 1 of 4 and 1 of 7. But when it comes to, if you want to figure out what the median is, the median means the number, once you put it on order, okay, you have to figure out which number is in the middle. So when you look at this, we're looking at 1, 2, 4, and 7, and it's clear that 2 and 4 are pretty much in the middle. Now, the thing about it is you cannot have just 2 numbers when it comes to median for your answer. So if you come up with 2 numbers, you need to add both numbers up and divide them by 2. So in this case, we have a 2 and a 4, and that would equal 6. And then you divide by 2, which will result in your answer being 3. So your median is 3. Now, the next thing going forward, if you want to figure out what the mean is commonly known as average. That's what you're used to when you learn this, probably in junior high and all through high school. So let's erase this. We'll use the same numbers again. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 4, and 7. Okay, 1, 2, 4, and 7. Now, when you add them all up, we got 1 and 2, 3. 3 plus 4 is 7, and then 7 plus 7 is 14. So we have 14. Now, when it comes to calculating the mean, you need to basically divide by the amount of numbers that you calculated, in other words, as a summation. So 1, 2, 4, and 7, there's 4 numbers. So that means we take 14 divided by 4, okay? 14 divided by 4, and that'll give you pretty much 3.5 if you use your calculator. And that would be our mean. Now keep in mind, again, we're 1 over mode. Mode is most frequent. That's your most frequent, okay? And then we have your median, okay? That's the number that's in the middle. And then you have your mean, all right? Commonly known as your average. So now keep in mind, a lot of times you will see this symbol as your mean. And in some textbooks, you may even see a lambda also noticed as your mean. So your median, your mode being your most frequent, okay, which one has the highest frequency of numbers, your median, and then your mean. All right, so now we're going to go into 2 other types of problems to make sure that you understand. All right, now we're looking at different sets of numbers, different problems. We're looking at 13, we're like 18, 13, 14, 13, 16, 14, 21, and 13. So they're different sets of numbers. So let's see if we can calculate what our mode is. So the thing is, you don't necessarily have to put them in order, but since we need to figure out what the median is later on, let's reorder this. So we have, if we're looking at our number, we have 13, cross out. We got another 13, cross out, okay? Then we have another 13, cross out. And then there's another 13. Cross out. Now we're left with a few numbers left. So now we're looking at 14, and I'll cross it out over here. And we got another 14, cross it out over here. I'm left with 3 left. So I'm still looking at 16, 18, and 21. All right, and I have all my numbers. So when I'm looking at these numbers again, all in order, making sure they're all in order. So I have 13, 13, 13, 13, 14, 14 again, 16, 18, 21. So if I need to calculate my mode, when you look at this, I'm looking at, the most frequent number I have 4 13s. So that would be my mode. So your mode in this case is 13. Now, the next thing, if we need to figure out the median, okay, we need to figure out the median. We need to figure out where the number is in the middle. Now keep in mind, when it comes with a sample size like this, it's pretty small. You want to take a look at it and say, hey, it doesn't look like that many numbers. I can just use my 2 fingers and count towards the middle. But correctly, you should see how many numbers did you have and divide it by 2, and that'll give you basically how many numbers you need to count back. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so you have 9. So you divide that by 2. All right, again, if you divide that by 2, it's going to give you 4.5. So if you add 1, it'll give you 10 divided by 5. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means the next number would be the number in the middle. Okay. Now, if you come out with a number quantity size like 10 and divide it by 2, so that means you're going to come up with 2 numbers in the middle. Now, remember, the median, if you have 2 numbers in the middle, add them up, divide by 2, and that would be your answer for the median. But in this case, since we have an odd number, that means all I have to do is count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the next number would be in the middle. If you wanted to confirm, since it's a small size, 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course the next number is 14, also in the middle. So our median is now, the answer for that is 14. Now, as far as the mean, if we need to add everything up, all right, remember we have a quantity of 9. We have a quantity of 9. So if I add everything up, 13, 18, 13, 14, 13, 16, 14, 21, and 13, that pretty much comes out to 135. Okay, and since I have 9 numbers, I'll divide that by 9. Okay, and if I divide that by 9, I'm looking at my answer being 15. And that would be my mean. All right, so again, the mean, add all the numbers up, divided by the quantity of numbers, in other words, the sample size. Your mode is the most frequent numbers, and the median is the number that's, if you had to put your sample quantity of numbers in order, it would be the number that's in the middle. And now if it's 2 numbers in the middle, just add them up both together and divide it by 2. Now let's work on the next problem. Our next problem is, it's a word problem. What we're looking at is, we have a group of students who took a test, and one scored 87, the other one was 95, 76, 88, and the other one we're not sure. We don't know what it is. But we know the class mean is 85. So how do we calculate to see what was the missing grade? That's going to give us an 85. So you know, if you add up all of your numbers, okay, sum of all numbers, okay, and if you would divide that by the quantity of numbers, okay, if you divide that by the quantity of numbers, in other words, your frequency of all numbers, or you can say all the numbers together, and that'll give you your mean, okay, that'll give you your mean. So what we need to do is, we need to institute algebra. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 87 plus 95 plus 76 plus 88, all right, plus x, because we're not sure what that is, okay? So, and then of course the sum of all that will be divided by, okay, again, divided by 5, all right? And that answer, once we calculated x, it'll give us 85. All right, that's what we're looking for. So again, let's try this out. Let's write this down algebraically. 87 plus 95 plus 76 plus 88 plus x, okay, divided by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, equals 85. Okay, that's what we're trying to get at. So we're going to do this over here. We're going to do, if that's the formula of pretty much how we need to solve this, we're going to need to add all this up. All right, so what I'm looking at, I need to add up 87, 95, 76, 88 plus x. All right, so that's what that'll give me is 346, all right, plus x, all right, divided by 5 equals, and I'm looking for 85. That's where we're at here. 346 plus x divided by 5 equals 85. So what we're going to do is, again, continue with our algebra. To get rid of the 5, in other words, the denominator, we need to basically multiply both sides by 5. So I'm going to do 5 times 346 plus x divided by 5 equals 85 times 5. Okay? Now, 85 times 5, I do believe, is 425. And of course, the 5s here will cancel out. So then we're left with 346 plus x. All right? And then, of course, we have to continue our algebra because we still don't know what our answer is. So just to make it nice and clear, nice big numbers, if I have 346 plus x equals 425, I want to subtract from both sides. 346 minus 346. Remember this in elementary school and junior high. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So then you're left with x because this 346 cancels out. So when you take 425 minus 346, that'll give you 79. So that means our missing grade here, we're a class of 87, 95, 76, 88, the x would be 79. And divided by 5, it'll give you a class mean of 85.